Good afternoon, everybody. This is the installation I've done for the cabin number 1, which is the media center of the Chinese diesel heater supplying hot air into the building. This is totally self-contained outside the building, with the exception of the air inlet, the air outlet, and the power and data cables which go into the building. So if I come around here, you can see fuel pump integrated filter, which works well, 45 degrees ish. At the moment I've got the exhaust going down to the floor. It's got a offset stand, as you can see. It'll have a row of those along the building, but the back plate insulating the wood from the exhaust needs to be installed in dry weather, so I'm going to leave that. This is a gas meter cabinet, which was about 60 quid on eBay. A stainless steel diesel fuel tank with a bottom off feed and a fuel gauge on the side. And then if we come round, we can show you the inside. Okay, so we're back inside the building, and here you see the air inlet, sorry, the outlet, which comes into the building. And this over here is the air intake, which is taking warm air from the building into the Chinese diesel heater and heating it up, thus making it most efficient. This needs to be finished off, but here's the data and power cables coming in. Here comes the DC power, 12 volts to a 30 amp DC power supply here. At the moment this is coming out really warm, really nice. The current temperature in the room is running at 19 degrees. I think it's about 14 outside. There's a fire alarm here and one inside the box, as you probably saw outside, and a smoke carbon monoxide meter down here, which is monitoring if there's any fault on the system, which there shouldn't be. The only way that carbon monoxide can get in from the combustion chamber and the combustion system is if the gasket between the combustion pipe and the actual air intake breaks down, and that could cause carbon monoxide to come in the building. So it's mandatory to have a carbon monoxide filter in here, which will help that. This is on Bluetooth, which you can't show you because I have it on my phone, which I'm now filming with. But this is the air heater type of controller, which goes into the motherboard on the Hcalory 5 inverted commas to 8 kilowatt heater, which is 4 kilowatt ostensibly. It looks a bit bigger than the standard 5 kilowatt to me, so maybe they're not lying, but I don't think there's a vast amount of difference. This is whizzing up here. It's now 20 degrees, and you can see there's no errors. Now, a lot of the errors are caused by inadequate power supply to the system, albeit looking at like 12 volts offload. When it's put on load, it struggles to supply 12 volts. That's one problem. Another problem is adequate priming. This has been primed right up to the filter physically, and then put the filter, the fuel pipe put on the filter, and the filter full of fuel before we started ignition sequence the initialization. So what I'll do is I will set this to switch off, and as you can see, this is the on-off button here. I can turn the heating up to 22, which increases the amount which the pump pumps into the combustion chamber. So it basically throws 22 milliliters at the fuel combustion chamber, slower or faster, and that increases or decreases the heat. So you can see, we've got an altitude of 0 kilometers because I'm not much above sea level. The fuel tank can be set to indicate whether it's full or empty, and to shut down we go here, we hold it, and it's going into a shutdown cycle. Now this is mandatory. First of all, you can probably hear there's a slight humming from the 30 amp power supply. The fan's not running because it doesn't need to until it gets overheated or hot. The pump has stopped working. You can hear there's no longer a pump. I may suspend the pump in midair because it actually comes through the woodwork. But at the moment, what it's doing is it's burning off any excess diesel inside the combustion chamber and slowly blowing that out the exhaust. So you don't get a flooded combustion chamber full of diesel. So the glow plug is working even on shutdown, burning off the fuel, pumping it out, and then the glow plug will stop. The current will reduce into the power supply, and then it will keep on blowing until the actual combustion chamber gets to 90 degrees centigrade, at which point the system will say, right, we're shutting off completely now, goodbye, and have a safe journey, which is quite cute. It really, isn't it? So this will heat up the media center during the winter months, autumn, winter, spring, early spring months, and will just supply an adequate supply of hot air into the building. I tested it earlier, and it really does heat up the building quite quickly. It's 4 meters by 3 meters by about 2.8 meters. So 3 is 9 times 4, 36, 72, 80 cubic meters of air in here. Anyway, there you go. The Chinese not so portable diesel heater, and it's, yeah, if you get the right one, you follow all of the, I recommend you join the Chinese diesel heater forum on Facebook. Brilliant. And Van Life also has loads of videos, superb, well worth going to see. So there you go. So there's your 6 minutes of video. Take care. Bye bye.